So today I wanted to show you guys how to pack up slightly larger items. So I've had this thing for about 2 years, it's like the oldest eBay listing that we have, and it finally sold over the weekend. Cool fact, this is actually featured in one of the Ghostbusters movies. But this is something that I bought at a public surplus auction. I've sold everything else, made all my money back, but this is the last thing, and it's quite large. I'd say it's probably 2 foot by 2 foot by probably 2 feet. Plus this is going to go in there too. It's going to weigh probably right at 120 pounds, so I need a decent sized box. I don't have one, so we're going dumpster diving. We have successfully acquired boxes. I think this is the one that's going to do the trick. It's very long. This is in the back of a furniture place. And while I was at it, we went ahead and got some other boxes, small, medium, and large. I know there might be some qualms about I don't want to get boxes out of the dumpster as well. It's all right. Obviously, there's a couple of rules. First, if it smells like garbage, keep moving. Nobody wants to get a box full of smells. Let's leave it at that. So I usually don't ever go into dumpsters that have like food and stuff in them, so I move on. Another one is look for the dumpsters with the small slits in them that say cardboard only, because chances are that's going to be, you guessed it, cardboard only. And that's where most of these came from. Another thing to think about is just go to places that don't have food. That big box came from a furniture store, very small chance of having anything weird in those kinds of dumpsters. So that's gonna do the trick for us. It's free and it's Memorial Day, so nothing was open, even if they did have a box. But this is gonna be a big box that not a lot of people are gonna have. So we're gonna make this work. It's too long, but I can cut it down, and I'm gonna do that right now. So we're gonna get all these out, and then I will show you guys what I come up with. All right, so slight change of plan here. Turns out this box is not wide enough and it's too long, and shortening a box is kind of a difficult process. It can be done, but if I don't need to, I don't want to. So I'm actually gonna use this box that I already had. It fits this piece just fine. It's a little short, so I'll have to put another box on top of it. However, it's not going to fit that piece, and this is a pair. So that's all right. I'll just do 2 separate shipments, and that's easy to do on eBay. You print out your first label, and then you go to completed shipments, and there's an ability to print out a second label. I kind of went on the high side when I gave the quote for this guy anyway. Shipping 2 boxes is going to be fine because I had a little bit of wiggle room in there, so I'm not going to lose any money on that. This solution is going to be a lot easier than trying to fit 2 very heavy pieces in one box and risk one of them getting broken, because this on the end here is plastic and I don't see an easy way of getting that off, so I don't want to mess that up. It's going to have to be heavily reinforced. Putting the 2 things in separate boxes is going to be a lot safer solution for that. And sometimes, guys, that's just kind of the decision you're going to have to make. You know, do I lose money on shipping 2 separate boxes, or do I cancel the order? And for me personally, I don't cancel orders if it's something like that. If it's going to eat into my profit a little bit, that's fine. I'd rather have a little less profit than an unhappy customer. So let me go ahead and get this in the box, and I'll show you what I use and how I surround that to make sure it makes the journey. The first thing I do on big shipments like this is put something in the bottom of these, because all the stress is going to be right there in that joint. So this thing's going to want to like bow. And if you've got, you know, just one single piece of tape, it has the possibility of breaking. So what I do is put something in the bottom of these to distribute the weight to, you know, the corners, sides like that, and it reinforces the bottom. So you've got, you know, when somebody picks this up, the bottom doesn't give out pretty much. So let me go ahead and get this in there, and I'll show you guys what I use just around it. All right, so this is what I came up with. So basically what you want to do is replicate what you would receive from like an actual company, you know, where they've got like these things that are all pre-molded and like fit perfectly over the piece. That's kind of what you want to try to achieve here. So this whole thing is surrounded by styrofoam, and so there's no chance any of this stuff getting hit by anything, because when this is cut, it's going to lay down right on top of this, and that's going to protect the leading edge of this. Something to think about is if things shift, where are they going to go? So if this thing shifts, it could come down here and break off these buttons. So I'm gonna have to try to put something in here. Basically, you want to think of worst case scenarios. Found that helps a lot. You know, kind of think of where things are going to move. If it does get hit here in the corner, is it going to hit anything? You know, stuff like that. Yeah, so that takes care of this part. All right, so I've got my box picked out for this thing. So what I want to do, same thing as in the other one, I want to make a cushion for the bottom. And we have a problem here. We have a protruding knob. So what I've done is cut a little window into this. As you can see, It is not flush with the bottom of that. I wanted to make it to where if it does move around in the box, it will have some leeway there. You don't want to have it like completely on that, so if it does move a little bit, you might snap your knob off. So I'm gonna put this in the bottom of the box, and then we'll build up around the sides. All right, so we are in the box. As you guys can see, I've got some clearance issues here, so all I've done is kind of just put it sideways in the box, and you guys can do that as well. As long as I don't have anything, you know, protruding into the box. Obviously that's area of interest. I'm gonna have to really heavily reinforce that because that's gonna go right through the side. There's some other areas down there also will have to be taken care of, and then of course we've got these fragile plastic pieces at the top. Let me come up with something and I'll show you guys what I got. So we've got a little bit of mixed material here. We've got some foam. We've got 3 of these. That's what's protecting the pieces that are kind of jutting out. We've got actually 4 of them because I had to double up on this one. That's a real sharp corner. So those aren't going to move in the box. And then up top here I've got softer material. I don't want to use styrofoam or something like that because if this does move around in the box, I want this to kind of give a little bit. I don't want anything rigid that could shear this off. So we're going to use plenty of these bubbles, and then this, the top of this will be what my box folds down across, and we'll have plenty of support there on the top, and so this is not going to go anywhere. So between the 2 boxes, this is going to get there safely. Again, I don't think I'm going to lose any money, anything like that, but I will update you on the total of what I made on this. And I would say this probably took me 30 minutes. If I would have had all my materials gathered together, it would have been probably shorter than that. So this is not a hard thing to do. It just takes a little bit of thinking, planning. Obviously, all these materials that I've made quite a mess out of are all free. It's just styrofoam that I've saved up from buying stuff. These things I got from my old job. So if you guys have a full-time job, I would suggest getting boxes, any kind of packing material, any kind of specialized items that you can use for packing for your reselling adventures. Hey guys, so here's the finished product. There's the big item, here's the smaller item. So one thing I like to do on bigger stuff like this is do like a drop test. So I'm gonna put you guys down and I'll show you what I usually do for big boxes like this. Alright guys, and that's usually what I do for the drop test. So if it can survive that, it can definitely survive a ride on the UPS truck. Thanks for watching, guys.